Synagogues. It is not a plan, and the architectural shapes and interior designs of the synagogue vary greatly. They usually have separate rooms for prayer, smaller rooms for study, and a space for community or educational use. Religious clothing. Kekapet's size ranges from a small round beanie to a large snug cap that covers the entire crown. On the four corners of the talit there are special knots. Talit is worn during prayer by some people. Rabbinic hermeneutics. If a law operates under certain conditions, it will certainly work in other situations where the same conditions are present in a more acute form. A single verse has several meanings, but there are no two verses that have the same significance. The Torah is dynamic because it contains a lot of interpretations, nature, and characteristics. The Jewish people and their religion have a constant ability to adapt to change. Judaism, whether in its normal form or in its sectarian deviations, never completely left from its basic ethical and historical monotheism. Religions. The relationship between the people of Israel and God is described in the Hebrew Bible. John Day believes that the biblicals may be the result of earlier Canaanite religion. Christianity and Judaism. Christianity is not monotheistic. Special taxes were levied on Jews. Prussia abolished disabilities in the 19th century. The history of Judaism. The people of Israel believed that their response to history was a central part of their identity. The corporate life of the chosen community was a call to recognize God. Kashrut. Halakha forbids the consumption of meat and dairy products together. The area around the sciatic nerve is a part of animals that are forbidden. Jewish ethics. Halakhic traditions, moral principles, and central Jewish virtues are some of the principles that may guide Jewish ethics. Jewish ethical practices include charity and not using negative speech. Prayers. The Amidah or Shemona Esrei is the center of each service. A minyan is a group of people. Women and men are equal in their participation in prayer services. Jewish holidays. There are special days for Jewish holidays in the calendar. They celebrate moments in Jewish history and themes of the relationship between God and the world. Hanukkah. The rededication of the temple is celebrated on the 25th day of Kislev, the day after the temple was destroyed by Epiphanes. It commemorates the miracle of Oi. Syncretic movements incorporating Judaism. Christianity and Judaism are both elements of Messianic Judaism. Semitic neopaganism is a sect that incorporates pagan, goddess movement, or Wiccan beliefs with some Jewish religious practices. Jewish life and religious practices. The yearly and life cycle calendars are used to guide Jewish life. The Torah is read in synagogue 3 times a week. Holias. The first day of the 7th month of the Hebrew calendar is Rosh Hashanah. Jews are commanded to search their souls and make amends during the 10-day period of penance. Life cycle events. Life cycle events are important for a Jew's identity and bind him/her to the entire community. The Torah requires that the criminals be buried as soon as possible. Hasidic Judaism is also known as the Baal Shem Tov. It was founded by Yisroel ben Eliezer. Judaism and persecution. The Jewish families were killed in 1066 when a Muslim mob attacked the royal palace. The Jews who refused to convert to Christianity would be kicked out of Spain. Classical priesthood. The role of the priesthood in Judaism has been diminished by the destruction of the Second Temple. Orthodox Jewish communities believe that they will be needed again. Islam and Judaism. Judaism and Islam are based on their origins. The religion's followers have been in contact for over a century. Distinction between Jews as a people and Judaism. Daniel Boyarin believes that Judaism does not fit in with the Western categories of religion, culture, and ethnicity. Humanistic Judaism does not accept religious aspects of Judaism. Founder of Judaism's. The Torah explains the history of Judaism. The text says that God showed himself to Abraham. Sephardi and Mizrahi Judaism. Sephardi and Mizrahi Jewish communities do not follow the same framework. Sephardi communities have adopted a Big Tent approach. The creation of Israel. Israel became an independent nation in 1948. The Jewish people thought the event was a success. Jewish holiday. The story of the Hebrew God passing over houses of Jewish families and saving their children is referred to as Passover. The Jewish people in Persia were saved from extinction. Jewish demographics. Israel and the United States are the main home of the world's Jewish population. The total number of Jews is difficult to assess because of who they are. Jewish temples. Solomon built the first holy temple in Jerusalem. The first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians. The Jewish people were ruled by King David. Israeli holiday. The modern holidays of Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, and Yom HaZikaron, Israeli Memorial Day, commemorate the horrors of the Holocaust and fallen soldiers of Israel. Historical Jewish groupings. To 1700, the small Jewish sects of the 1st century were called the Sadducees, the Pharisees, and the Christians. Jews formed different ethnic groups. The Enlightenment and new religious movements. The laws that prevented Jews from interacting with the secular world were reduced after the Enlightenment. Haskalah began in Europe. The conservative movement was started by Orthodox and Reform rabbis, defining characteristics and principles of faith. The belief that God is concerned with the actions of mankind is the beginning of ethical monotheism in Judaism. The worship of other gods is against the teachings of the Hebrew Bible. Orthodox Judaism is the most common religion in Europe. Who is a Jew? Rabbinic Judaism says that a Jew is anyone who was born into a Jewish family and who converted to Judaism in accordance with the rules of the religion. Sectarian Judaism believes that Jewish identity can only be transmitted from one's patrilineal descent. The law of Jewish identity was brought about by the rape of Jewish women in captivity, according to a popular theory. 3 pilgrimage festivals. The major Jewish festivals are called regalim and are used to make pilgrimages to Jerusalem. The last 40 years of wandering in the desert are remembered by the Sukkah. Jews around the world eat for 7 days and nights. Periodization. The division was moved back to Babylonian exile in the 19th century. The Christian world believed that the history of Judaism was a preparation for the crucifixion of Jesus. The work of the Pharisaic and rabbinical experts continued into the modern period according to most Jews. Rabbinic Judaism. Rabbinic Judaism has been the mainstream form of Judaism since the 6th century. Orthodoxy considers Maimonides' 13 principles to be a definition of Jewish faith. Halakha is always in response to changing conditions. According to conservative Judaism, after the Holocaust, the number of European Jews killed after the Holocaust was 2 out of every 3. Most of the European Jewry left the country. Hundreds of thousands of people have found new homes in Israel, the United States, Canada, Australia, Great Britain, South America, and South Africa. Jewish movements in Israel. Orthodox, conservative, and Reform traditions are the major religions in Israel. The percentage of Jews who are in that category is higher than in the Jewish diaspora. The diaspora includes Haredi. Antiquity. The first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians. Hellenistic Judaism was found in Ptolemaic Egypt from the 3rd century BC. The second temple was destroyed by the Romans. Jews were granted Roman citizenship in 200s and Judaism was recognized as a legitimate religion. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe, like, and share.